Question: do you budget annually? Back in a minute. Hi, this is Jan from New York City. My channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. I'm going to talk today and tomorrow about annual budgeting versus monthly budgeting. We're just going to talk about the advantages of annual budgeting. And by the way, do you do that? Just wondering. Let me know in the description box, not description box, hello, comment section below. I have my coffee with me. Perhaps that'll help. Take a sip, Jan. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. Okay. All right. So I don't want to miss a beat because these points are important. Annual budgets are great for setting goals, like let's say saving up for a home or paying down your debt. I also believe it is a great way to look at common incidental expenses in terms of what comes out of our pockets each year. Most of the time, at least in my life and in the past, I didn't calculate things on an annual basis. I think that was a mistake. But we all learn, we all evolve, and we all grow. What do I mean by that? I'll point out a few pointers here and I'll show you why. All right, example, the average haircut, including the tip for a woman here in New York, is somewhere between $50 and $60. And being conservative about that, because sometimes you might ask for a little extra thing, not just a cut. Sometimes you could get a really good deal. I'm not saying that's not possible, but we're talking averages here, okay? Now, if a person does that, let's say they allocate $60 per haircut and they get 6 haircuts per year. Do the math on how much that's going to cost. That's going to cost a bit of a bundle. Or if you do it 8 times a year, let's say you do it 8 times a year at $50. I'll even lower the cost a little bit. 8 times a year at $50, that's $400 a year just for a haircut. No judging. People get haircuts. Just saying, just saying. So annually, you are spending $400 or maybe a little more per year just to maintain your haircut. Okay, so we'll move on to other stuff. Another example is on a smaller scale. Let's say you spend $5 a month on toothpaste, right? We all need toothpaste, right? Okay. So let's suppose you spend $5 a month on toothpaste. Now, toothpaste prices, in my opinion, can range from the sublime to the absolutely ridiculous, but that's another story. Okay. All right. So let's say that you spend $5 a month on toothpaste and you're a family of 1 or 2. Okay. That's $60 a year on toothpaste. All right. These are just minor incidentals that happen, right? So then I go on to mention in my little crib notes, so I don't forget to miss a beat, the story of when I used to spend about $3 to $5 or $6 a day on my bagel and coffee outside. Not the bagels you get in the supermarket, not the instant coffee one can make at home. Till I had a rude awakening and realized how much I was spending per year, even per month on that stuff. And I know I told the bagel story many times. However, there are a bunch of newcomers here, and I don't want you to miss that because I myself, I wasn't paying attention. This was about, I would say about 5 or 6 years back. Don't ask me why it was so much more fun to receive that bagel that somebody else made. And of course, you have to wash down the bagel. So either you're going to get a coffee or a juice. You know where I'm going with this. So one year I woke up, I wrote this down. I don't want to miss a beat here. One year I woke up and smelt the coffee, if you will, in terms of my annual waste of outside bagel and coffee. And that ended up beating to the tune of almost, are you sitting or standing? Almost $1,000 a year. What? $1,000 a year? Do you do anything on a daily basis that maybe you don't have to do, but you just feel like doing? And it might add up to the tune of $1,000 a year. Maybe you don't know. We don't always know everything we're doing. So this is one huge, huge advantage, in my opinion, of sitting down and adding up how much something costs annually. Another example, and this is no judgment at all. I get why we do these things sometimes. Dollar Tree hauls of trinkets. I'm just using this as an example. Okay. Dollar Tree hauls of trinkets that you might get a minute pleasure out of, and then it's all over. Then, like, okay, cute. It's cute. And then like you suddenly like you're dusting a lot of cuteness. And it's more work than anything else. This is how I look at it. As you get older, in my opinion, I think sometimes that people start wanting to scale things down because the less you have, the less you have to worry about. That's my theory of relativity anyway. Because even though I'm not an official minimalist person per se, I do believe that the less you have sometimes, the less you have to concern yourself about. But that's me, and I'm 63 and a half years old. No, 63 and a half years young. And that's my point of view. I do get it when you're younger and, et cetera, et cetera. However, add this up. Ask yourself. See, this comes true for people that say, I can't save. Not true. Because let's go over things. All these things are expenses that are not necessary. What do I mean? Well, you said toothpaste, Jen. Yeah, I did say toothpaste. Do you need toothpaste? Yes, you do need to brush your teeth. Does it have to be expensive toothpaste, $7 and up? No. If you could get a coupon, get a reduced rate, try maybe some other version, go the baking soda and peroxide route. There are many choices. Examine your choices. The haircut thing. Suppose you get 6 or 7 haircuts a year and you don't like the number that you're paying per year. What you can easily do is cut back maybe 1 or 2 haircuts. If you go every 5 weeks, instead go every 7 to 8 weeks. If the bangs get in your eyes, well, if you have bangs, just trim that off and expand your time another couple of weeks. That could be like a $200 annual savings just by literally making that one little trim, and I'm being facetious about that, one little trim to your budget. You get the point when I'm saying the trinket hauls. I'm not saying it's a bad idea to go to the Dollar Tree, no, because you might find some really good values there. Like, for example, that Dollar Tree tea. I mean, 100 tea bags for like $1. Even if it's $1.25, you're still a winner. We're talking about like a penny and a half or so for a cup of tea. I mean, you can't beat that price. You just can't. But evaluate your habit. Evaluate what means a lot to you. I'm not saying never get a trinket. Of course not. Trinkets are cute. They brighten your day. But if there's more trinket than actual value, in my opinion, what I would do, I would rethink about it. So then how do you grab a hold of these annual expenses? This is easy. Mark down the things like I just mentioned. How much do you spend 1 month on a haircut, for example, one instance on a haircut? How much do you spend on outside coffee and bagels? Multiply those figures by the month. You get your monthly expense. Multiply that by 12, and you get your annual expense. You can look at it and go, these are just examples. Go, what can I do to cut this down? Do I want to cut it down? Am I okay with it? Or would I much rather put a little bit from each item into, let's say, a vacation fund? Or would I like to put a little bit of that item, let's say, to paying down debt? Sometimes we think we can't do something, but the funds are literally under our nose. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to come back. I'm going to talk about monthly budgeting. Okay? Deal? Deal. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City. Thank you so much for viewing. Why? Because I really do appreciate who you. Don't forget to come back in the future for some more savings tips and tricks. Thank you for sharing my video. I really appreciate every single one of you. Going to close out the show, give you a wave. And before the way, I want to mention that I do have a nighttime version of me, radio style, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day, everybody. Here's your wave. Bye.